Hi, I'm John Michael Muraski. I'm going to be your instructor in our Consortium MBA course, Managing Information Technology, IS 740. I like to record relatively fresh videos each semester. Really allows me to give the student in the course a little bit of background about the person on the other side of the box, the person you're communicating with via email and on discussions and you're turning your assignments into. And so I take just a couple of minutes and I do a short video where I talk about my background and my family and things that I do and just to give you a little bit of a background. And, I would start by saying I am an assistant professor at UW-Oshkosh. I am in the College of Business Information Systems Department, where I've taught for the last 8 years. I always like to start with my family. I've been married 22 years now, and we have two boys. I have a 18-year-old who is in UW-Milwaukee during the 2018-2019 year, so he's a freshman now at UW-Milwaukee. And I also have a 15-year-old who's a sophomore in Howard-Swamico, which is a suburb here in Green Bay, where I live. And so we're pretty busy with kids, though busy with just one kid now, one more to go, and then we're free, I guess. I like to tell folks about my hobbies, though I don't really have time to spend on hobbies. I like to fly fish, and I also like to get out and get on a motorcycle once in a while. But my hobby for the last number of years has been working on my doctorate, and I'll talk about that in just a couple of moments. Professionally, I really started my professional career back in '92. I spent a decade, 10 years at Schneider National and Schneider Logistics, really managing and being involved in all kinds of things at my career there. I spent the first 5 years really in business operations. I was managing different customer service regions, driver transportation areas, claims safety, very business management focused. About 5 years into my career, I was tapped on the shoulder by one of the directors in IS. They were looking to put together a new team that was really designed with folks who understood the business really well. They wanted them to come and join the IT team and be part of bringing our business knowledge into the IT. And I've never looked back. I've been in IT ever since then. So I spent the next 5 years in a number of different positions within IT, working with customers, going out and working with Schneider's customers and getting them integrated into the Schneider system. During that time, I finished up my master's degree, my Master of Science, and then I went and spent 2 years at Associated Bank. At Associated Bank, I was really involved with helping them put in their first ERP system across all of their branches and multi-states. That was my first year and a half there, and then they really had no other large projects for the skill set I had developed. At that point, I went out and I started my own consulting practice. I hung a shingle, had my first customer. Within about a year and a half, I had 30 employees working all across the Midwest, really, bringing in about $6 million a year through management consulting. We helped companies with strategic planning all the way down to managing individual projects, like putting up windmill farms in Iowa for Wisconsin Public Service. So a lot of strategy and project throughout the business that I ran for 5 years. About 5 years into the business, I really started with a large sports franchise here in Green Bay, and we were helping them with some strategic planning with a new president they had. And I went through kind of the same planning approach we were walking that team through, and I laid out kind of my core values. And my core values are engage, educate, and enable. I really enjoy engaging people, doing this kind of stuff face-to-face and online and in training rooms. I like engaging people. I like educating, bringing my experience, my knowledge to bear, and really enabling people. Within 90 days of jotting down these 3 words and description of these words, I had left my business. I took a year off, and then I transitioned into teaching, and I've been teaching now for the last, starting my 8th year. So really kind of an interesting career transition. As I mentioned, I have an undergraduate degree from UW-GB in political science. I have a Master of Science in Information Systems. Once I started teaching at Oshkosh, I decided to just keep working on my MBA. And so I did my MBA through University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, I was accepted into a brand new program at the time, a Doctorate of Business Administration at Whitewater. It is a on-person program. I had to be in Whitewater Thursday through Sunday, one weekend every month for just over 3 years or 2.5 years. And then finished up my dissertation and defended it and earned my doctorate. And so an interesting program. If anyone wants to talk to me, reach out to me through email or Skype, and I'll be happy to talk to you about that program, tell you a little bit about it. That is a little bit about me and my background, work that I've done, and education that I've had. Again, in our first week's discussion, it's a video discussion, and I ask you to, as you've done for every online class you've ever taken, provide a bit of a background. But instead of just typing it, I'm going to have you speak it, just like I did. I'm going to have you talk about your background, a little bit about yourself, where you work, your hobbies, a little bit about you personally, and then go through that 2 truths and a dare. So take a look online in the discussions. I've got information on how to access Flipgrid and create your own Flipgrid video. So thanks for your time, and I'll see you online.